Senate, Honorable Speaker, that for the first time pushed the amount of money that goes to counties under the shareable revenue across the 400 billion threshold. It had never been done. It is us. Mr. Speaker, when these governors want things, they look for us to be able to push for them. I was again embarrassed to see the COG sitting in this chamber before our finance committee chaired by Senator Roba, coming to tell us to help them to push what the national government has proposed in this financial year from 420 to 450. In fact, Speaker, if you have noticed, these days I don't even talk about that 450 billion that I used to sing every day in that expired MOU. Because I'm asking myself, 450 billion to go to Governor Jir, 450 billion to go to Governor Jir, and these are the governors who are buying supplements for wild animals. I am conflicted because I swore an oath to defend counties and their governments, but not these ones. Not these ones, Honorable Speaker. When they had a problem with RMLF and the National Assembly was refusing to release money for roads, they came to Sifuna. They came to this house. They came to the Senate. We were fighting for them. In fact, it is them who ran away. In fact, these governors, I am telling you, Speaker, there is a total collapse of leadership of the COG. They will come here when they have problems. We agree that because we are the devolution family, we will fight this fight together. When they are called somewhere behind the tent there, you hear, oh, they have reached an agreement with the National Assembly or with the state. They abandon the fight, Mr. Speaker. And then they leave the senators hanging there. Speaker, it is this house, it is the Committee of the Public Accounts Committee that wrote off 16 billion Kenya shillings in pending bills from Nairobi County books. We sat down with the then Minister for Treasury at the onset of this house and the Comptroller of State House, and we told them in no uncertain terms that the bills that were incurred by NMS were not going to be paid by the county government of Nairobi. That was the Senate. That was Sifuna. That was the County Public Accounts Committee, Honorable Speaker. They came to us crying that because of late exchequer releases, when they delay in paying VAT and not VAT, payee remittances to KRA, there are penalties that are imposed on that late remittance. It was this committee called County Public Accounts Committee. It was Sifuna. It was this Senate that sat down with the Ministry of Finance or the Treasury, and we agreed that because the problem is not originating from the county side, that because late exchequer releases are a reality, you cannot delay giving us money, then when I delay remitting payee for my employees, you add a penalty on top. It was this house that they are now demonizing. Honorable Speaker, it is this house that they are demonizing that ensured that we passed a law here for financial autonomy for the assemblies, because the governors were running circles around the assemblies with the famous Form C, Honorable Speaker. So we have done a lot of things. Speaker, there was the other one of, I think it was for shareable revenue. I've addressed that. There was a question of late exchequer releases. Speaker, whenever there is a delay, you will hear the national government saying, we are up to date. And yet the governors come to our committee and tell us, no, we are behind 3 months. This is the question. How is it possible that they only come to us when they want things? That we are only good people when we are pursuing what they consider their interests. But now, because we want to ask for accountability for the same amount that we fight for, they are demonizing us. Speaker, we were convinced this last financial year by the so-called small counties. I remember the small counties like Lamu and the others, and Viga, and they came together and told us that we need to introduce in the new formula an affirmative action amount. The only governor from those 13 counties who has appeared before us and actually has said thank you for the fight for devolution is the governor for Nyandarua. He is the only one. He is the only one. These other ones continue to insult us. Even up to today, they are still calling us names, Honorable Speaker. So we have told them that because we are also politicians, we can throw down. You know, these suits, Honorable Speaker, they are just clothes. We can remove them and just wear magwanda rasmi ya vita. Nobody should think that because Sifuna wears a suit every day, that in certain circumstances, if need be, I cannot throw around. I mean, they should not threaten us.